This is the PRS SE NF3. Now the NF3 is not new to the PRS lineup. They've had it available as a core model for years. I actually don't know that it's still available as a core model, but they have recently brought this out as an SE model. This is clearly an S-type guitar. You've got 3 pickups, you've got a double cutaway body, but PRS is doing their own thing with this. Think of it as a modern S-style guitar. So quickly, the specs on this: it's a poplar body, it's a maple neck. This one has a rosewood fretboard, but it is also available with a maple fretboard. You've got a variety of different colors. The colors on these things look great. I don't know how well it's going to come through in this video, but the paint has like a sparkle in it, this orange one. And depending on the way you look at it in the light, it sort of like has a like shimmer. It kind of shifts a little bit. It's really cool. You've got a 5-way blade and volume and tone. You've got regular non-locking tuners. So, you know, the higher end PRS guitars will have the locking tuners on top. This one doesn't. You got a PRS designed tremolo here. And I'll say it right off the bat, tuning stability on this guitar is really good. So, the nut is cut well. The tuners hold tune great. The tremolo works great. If you've played a PRS before, whether it's a SE or a core, you kind of know what you're getting into when it comes to like the quality and the tune, you know, the way the trem works and that kind of thing. Now, I think the star of the show here are these narrow field, they call them DD for deep dish pickups. These are new pickups that PRS designed for this model. They're the S variant of the pickups, which just means that they're made overseas along with the guitar. By the way, this guitar says built by Cortec Musical Instruments in Indonesia under license for PRS guitars. So it's a very common thing with the SE guitars. I actually really appreciate the fact that PRS is so open and clear with who makes this, where it's being made. But the quality on these SE guitars just keeps going up and up and up. We've reviewed a lot of the SEs on the channel. Here we've reviewed like the Silver Sky SE, the DGT SE, the 594. I think that these are some of the absolute best guitars you can buy for the money. PRS SE guitars, the quality to price ratio is off the charts. You don't need to do anything to this guitar when you get it. Doesn't need a pickup swap, doesn't need new tuners, doesn't need anything. It's great right out of the box. And I was talking about the pickups. So these are the narrow field DD deep dish pickups. Now, if you read PRS's copy, I went to Sweetwater and read what PRS says about these pickups. PRS says that they blend the best of humbuckers, P90s, single coils, and mini humbuckers all in one pickup. It's an interesting thing to try and make a pickup sound like all the pickups, right? So I think if you watch like the PRS videos that they've made on these pickups, basically what they're going for, and Paul Reed Smith from PRS says this a lot with his pickup designs. He kind of strives to make a humbucker pickup sound like single coils with the clarity and that kind of thing. So you get the best of a single coil pickup without any of the noise, that kind of thing, especially with the narrow field pickups. That's what they're going for. I think this guitar sounds, and these pickups, you can get it, they sound like a Strat type of a pickup, but they are humbuckers. So you have to like brighten everything up. So when I play this guitar, when I run it through different rigs, I set the amp or the digital model or whatever, I set it up so that it's more like how I'd run a humbucker guitar. And then to me, they sound like single coils. So now that we've explained what I think the pickups sound like, let's just let you hear them. So I'm going to go through all 5 pickup positions. By the way, this 5-way blade works like a traditional S-style 5-way blade. You've got bridge and middle, you've got middle and neck, and you've got neck. So I haven't, so I'm going to show you what these sound like clean. I'm just going to play some chords and some picking on all the pickup positions, and then we'll do with a little bit of dirt. Okay, what I hope you heard there is you definitely get those Strat style tones. The 2 and the 4 position sound like they have the quack that you would expect them, whether it's a chimier, more aggressive quack or like a warmer, rounder quack. Like, I love the 2 and 4 positions on these types of guitars. The neck sounds great. A neck Strat pickup is one of the best sounding pickups in the world, I think. Especially for clean tones. It's really full and round. Sounds great. And the bridge has a nice fullness and bite to it. So when I play S-style guitars that are like 3 single coils, I always struggle with that type of guitar. I prefer an HSS setup, mostly because the bridge always sounds really thin and shrill to me on a single coil S-style bridge pickup. But this one, it doesn't. It sounds big and full and rich, which I really like. So I think these pickups are a hit. Okay, let's listen to them with a little bit of gain. So I'm going to switch to a more overdriven amp model. We're using Axe-Fx 3, by the way, in this demo for the clean stuff. It's a Dumble Overdrive Special amp model in the Axe-Fx. Set clean, and then we're gonna gain it up with the overdrive channel on for this rhythm type of tone. So let's listen to all of these pickup positions with that kind of a sound. more about maybe more of the subjective kind of things about this guitar, like how does it feel, how does it play. You know, if you've played SE PRS guitars before, this will feel familiar to you, but they all sort of have their own character, their own personality. The neck carve on this is very comfortable. You know, the edge of the fretboard isn't like rolled over like what you're going to get on a higher end instrument, but the fretwork is all really nice. Like this is all very smooth up and down the neck. There's nothing sharp on the edges. The bridge setup is exactly the same way. There's nothing sticking out like screws or sharp edges. It's all like really well done, very high level of quality on this guitar. And it feels and it plays really nice. This thing came set up pretty much perfect right out of the box for me. You know, the bridge is floating, which is how I like it. So you can go, you know, you can go up and down a little bit. And the PRS tremolo feels really good. Here you can see what the neck bolt on setup looks like. These are not recessed like they are like in a higher end PRS guitar. The pots and the switch all feel really, really good, really high quality. So overall, it really feels like you're getting a very high quality instrument with these SE guitars. I love that they have the birds. I'm a huge fan of birds on PRS guitars, so I think it looks great with this model. And finally, I think the color choices that you get on this are really good too. The blue cobalt, I forget what color they call it. I think that one looks really sharp. I love that they give you the option for maple or rosewood on the board, depending on your preference, whether it's a cosmetic preference or if you prefer, you know, playing a rosewood versus a maple neck as far as feel or tone goes. The neck is like a matte or a satin finish on the back of the neck, which is a really nice touch. It feels great. Like just the feeling of it against your hand, and it makes it so that it doesn't feel sticky, anything like that. Very comfortable to play guitar. All in all, PRS guitars, they don't miss. Now, one question that I've seen posted as I did a playthrough video with this guitar, so you can see that. I linked it below for a song video. But we get this question like, how does this thing compare to like the Silver Sky SE? This is going to be a much more modern take on the S-style guitar, whereas the Silver Sky is a much more vintage take on the S-style guitar. So the Silver Sky is really developed to feel and sound and play like John Mayer's 63 and 64 Strats that he has. And so the Silver Sky also is going to have like traditional single coil pickups that are voiced much more vintage. This one, it has these new narrow field pickups that are a little more modern. Not that they sound super modern, but like just in design, you've got a single, narrow field humbucker that's voiced to sound like a single coil. It's a very different thing than like the pickups on the Silver Sky. The neck, I think, is going to be a little different. I haven't played the SE Silver Sky in a long time, so I can't, it's not right in my mind to compare the two. But they are pretty different guitars. This one being a more modern take on a 3-pickup S-style guitar, Silver Sky being a more vintage take. But both of them, are PRS through and through. So the level of quality, precision, all that kind of stuff on these guitars is way up there. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the video, please do so. This is your moment. Seize it. Actually, YouTube tells us most of you who watch are not subscribed. So we'd love it if you subscribed and hit the bell so you know when new content gets posted. We'll see you in the next one.